Good morning, everyone. This is State Climatologist Gary McManus with your Mesonet weather report. Well, the weather has certainly gotten a little bit better from where we were, but that's not really saying a lot. Where we are is worse than where we were last week, and worse where we were 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago, and so on and so forth. So we now have more color on the map, more of that severe and moderate drought across northwestern, north central, and southwestern Oklahoma, and now up into northeastern Oklahoma. So once again, this dry spell that now is lasting over 120 days is impacting our drought. It is flourishing, unfortunately, and it is starting to spread. Now let's take a look at that 120-day time frame, those rainfall amounts. This is the same basic map that we've been showing over the last few weeks, but those numbers continue to go up on the days without scale, and so the numbers continue to stay the same on the 120-day scale. Again, down in far southeastern Oklahoma, some pretty good rains. When you go to the northwest of there, the totals diminish rapidly. You get into central Oklahoma, it's less than 5 inches. Northwest Oklahoma, it's less than 2 inches. And in the Panhandle, less than 1 inch. Now here's the map that tells the real story, the consecutive days with less than 1/4 inch of rainfall in a single day. This is a map from the Oklahoma Mesonet we see up in northwest Oklahoma. Basically, we're going to be up to about 130 days when you're watching this, of days without at least a good wetting rainfall or melted snowfall in any single day. But for the rest of the state, it's getting up there 2 to 3 weeks. So again, an elongated dry spell on top of a shorter dry spell across the state. Now we can rank these climate divisions or areas of the state compared to rainfall data going back to at least 1921, and we see for north central Oklahoma an average departure from normal of about 4 inches, and that ranks as the second driest last 120 days on record in at least the last 100 years, and even going farther back than that. So very dry, and most of the state is in at least the top 15 driest rankings. Only southeastern Oklahoma, as we showed you earlier, has a wettest ranking, and that's just the 40th wettest last 120 days on record. We've had some meager rainfall amounts, some better rainfall amounts across the state, but as we go forward, I'm afraid we're going to see a little bit more of a summer pattern take over, or at least a warm spring pattern. We do see for next week increased odds of above normal temperatures across the entire state, and those are greatly increased odds. And then as we look at the precipitation, unfortunately, increased odds of below normal precipitation across the northwestern corner and the Panhandle, especially across the western Panhandle, which has newly minted drought in that part of the state, and also down in far southeast Oklahoma. We do see chances for near normal rainfall being the predominant odds for much of the state, however, and that would certainly be welcome for next week. Now, all those maps, one thing I have to tell you is we are at least entering the spring season where we do get most of our rainfall across much of the state, so that always gives us hope, and we hope, of course, that we do get some good spring rains coming up over the next couple of months. Over the next couple of weeks would be nice too. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.